If you're at least 18 years old, have you joined a political party? If not, you may be passing up your opportunity to significantly influence major political outcomes in the country, especially as we approach the 2023 elections. Also, investment banker Mr. Atedo Peterside is advising every adult Nigerian to go join a political party. He is the founder of Stanbic IBTC Bank and ANAP Foundation. He is also the convener of Go Nigeria. Go Nigeria is an initiative of ANAP Foundation. It started at the end of 2021 with 18 advocates drawn from the 6 geopolitical zones of Nigeria. Go Nigeria is a non-profit, non-partisan movement dedicated to building a new voice for young people in Nigeria. He's joining us on Zoom tonight. Thanks for joining us, Mr. Atedo Peterside.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Now, we kickstart with what we should begin with. When a party comes forward to ask us to join, or a candidate of a party is asking for our votes, the very first thing to look at or to look out for is that party's manifesto. What are the appropriate factors to look out for in the manifesto?
I think the manifesto sets out the ideology in some big areas. I mean, when I looked at the political parties, I did a brief study of all of them. I finished off with a short list of three political parties that I could consider. And one of them, I ruled them out because of their manifesto. Because when I read it, half the things they believed in and what they were looking at as objectives were things in respect of which I was diametrically opposed. If anything, their manifesto read like they were like a communist party, and they were against private sector or free enterprise. So for me, that was like closing the door. So when you look at the manifesto of a party, the broad policy directives, the broad objectives, everything should be closely aligned to what you also believe in as a person. Otherwise, you're in the wrong place. So I think the manifestos are important, except that, to be very honest with you, for some of the parties, their manifestos look very similar. But I think I'm just saying that I use manifesto in the sense that if the manifesto is a negative for you, then don't join that party. If it's okay or neutral or positive, then you can join that party.
That's my concern, because I know all along that these parties have similar manifestos, and that's a cause for concern. When you talk about ideology, many of them claim that they have brilliant ideologies, they have ideologies that will support the masses, they have ideologies that will really deliver the dividends of democracy, but then they don't do any of these. That's why I had to. So how then do you decipher which of them? Because when they come forward with similar ideologies or manifestos, you're beginning to think, where do I go from here? Two roads are beckoning. Which do I take?
Well, let me explain. Some political parties have never governed. PDP has governed for 16 years. APC has governed for 8 years. So I think your question is fair to ask PDP and APC. If this is your manifesto, what have you used it to achieve when you had governance at the federal level and at several state levels? But for some of the smaller parties who have never won an election in terms of presidency or governorship, they can give you the defense that we've never been given the mandate to practice our manifesto. So you really cannot judge them. All you can do is to read the manifesto and see whether it's a manifesto that makes sense to you, so that hopefully if they win an election, governorship or presidency someday, then they have their own guiding lights. So you cannot fault a man who has not had a chance to implement the manifesto in any form. Those you can fault are APC and PDP. And I think they have both been very disappointing to most Nigerians.
Okay, now that already answers my next question. I was going to ask you about the quality of these parties' leadership at the national level, because everything rises and falls on the leader, But then, because at the end of the day, it's the leader that will appoint team members that will work these manifestos with him. And so if these manifestos have not been able to deliver, then that speaks volume of the leadership, don't you think?
So, look, if you're managing a country and economy, and the economy is doing badly, which we all know it is, you also have insecurity, the level that is frightening, then we all know that you've not succeeded. Forget about the people who would lie through their teeth and pretend that something good is happening. What is happening that is good? Tell me. About the only good news of recent, anything that I think is phenomenally positive, is the new Electoral Act, which was, signed by President Buhari. It's about the only claim of good news in recent times. Everything else is bad news. So, I'm thankful for that new Electoral Act because it gives us a chance to have free and fair elections. So if that's the only thing that this APC government has done, at least let's clap for them on that one. They did one good thing and several bad things.
Interesting. Okay, now Go Nigeria. You are canvassing for youths who want to take back the country. Now, are the party's doors truly open to Nigerian youths who wish to claim their country back? How do you now advise youths who truly wish to take the country back?
You see, let me make it very clear. Go Nigeria is non-partisan. Inside Go Nigeria, we have APC member, PDP member. I have recently joined the SDP, and I want everybody to join any party of their choice. I'm never going to join the party and say you must do what I'm doing. I mean, everybody should look at which party where they feel at home and so on. So it's to me that when you come together for one objective, we're coming together as Go Nigeria to improve the system for everybody, to fight the problem of voter apathy, and to educate and try to bring more youth voters among the youth into the electoral system. That is for the benefit of everybody. Because you don't want disenchanted youths who refuse to take part in the electoral process. Instead, they'll take to some other form of expressing themselves that could be beyond control. So you can come together to do something for the good of Nigeria, and that organization is non-partisan. But I believe that individuals, and all of us should join political parties, the one that we are attracted to. Because if you don't do that, even with the beautiful Electoral Act, even if you solve the problem of voter apathy, your political parties may be defective and they may run defective systems. A defective party with defective systems will probably produce a defective outcome. Absolutely. When it comes to primaries and things like that. They will not bring out the best in Nigeria. So it's important that we join parties and also put pressure on the parties from within as party members.
Absolutely.
I joined SDP. If they're doing something wrong, I'll be inside SDP screaming, but I have a voice.
Absolutely.
I want those to do the same, those in PDP to do the same.
Mr. Peterside,
yes.
You've spoken very well on our primetime news tonight. We must thank you for coming to enrich our bulletin. My last question to you, my very last question to you tonight. You continue to be a challenge to me personally because you started Stabic Habits as a youth. In your 30s, you've been doing very well for yourself and for this nation. What's your last word in 30 seconds or so to the youth out there? Your last word.
My last word is to repeat myself. Go out there, join a political party of your choice, and try and make a difference from within. Go to a party where you think you're wanted, where the doors are open, where you don't need a godfather to protect you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. Hope you enjoyed the news. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel and don't forget to hit the notification button so you get notified about fresh news updates.